Another part of it is what he's using to get himself to sleep at the moment. And from what you've told me, I think there's three main elements there. One is he has his bottle at some point of his bedtime routine. He also has some music as he goes to sleep. And he also has you in the room with him as he's falling asleep. And those are the three elements that he currently associates with sleep.
Aaron has learnt to rely on all three of these familiar comforts at bedtime. Weaning him off the bottle and music shouldn't be too difficult, but getting Mum and Dad out of the room is going to take a few sleepless nights. Mandy's solution is a method called gradual retreat.
You've got your chair there, and then the whole point of the retreat system is that you move a little bit further to here, and then to here, and then you're going to be here in the doorway. So you spend 3 nights in each position before you move to the next spot again. Now,
by the end of the week, Dan and Nadine should be out on the landing and be able to leave Aaron alone without any of the normal tantrums. The Montgomerys begin their new sleep plan. And to monitor their progress, we ask them both to wear ActiWatches that record when they're awake and asleep. This will provide useful information later on.
Mommy.
But there's more at stake than just for the parents to get their lives back to normal again. Sleep loss in children can be responsible for a range of problems from naughtiness and poor concentration to being more prone to accidents whilst playing. It's crucial that the Montgomerys break Aaron's bad habits and get him sleeping through the night.
Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream.
Can't get any worse. 7 times waking up throughout the night.
Like roses and clover. Then tell him that his lunch died.
He's just literally 10 minutes ago fallen asleep.
Easier than last night.
Don't have nobody to call my own. Please turn on your...
Mandy did say the fourth night would be the hardest, so we're not keeping our fingers crossed that it's going to be an easy one again.
Go to sleep.
Mr. Sandman.
Tuesday, the miracle happened. He slept
He
through the
slept. First time ever.
Couldn't believe it.
Woke up at 5:45 this morning, I did, in a panic. He hadn't woke us up, so I prodded him to make sure he was okay.
How have you found it?
Difficult at first, but we are getting used to it now.
Yeah, the first 2 nights were a little bit rough.
No, not onto your bed.
Right. How far through the gradual retreat have you got?
We're actually by the door.
Great.
We're actually right by the door now,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah, we've got rid of the chair and we're just sitting on cushions.
So, I mean, I think now the important thing is to keep moving with your cushion and now come out onto the landing, and then eventually the cushion will come all the way down the bottom of the stairs so that you'll be able to put him into bed.
Yeah.
Because when was the last time that you actually went out as a couple?
It's for our anniversary, yeah. And made it to 9:30 after that. We was just too tired, so we just come home.
So the goal is to stay out later than 10 o'clock, isn't it?
With Aaron sleeping through the night, the next step is to see if he can keep his good routine while Granny's babysitting. Can Dan and Nadine finally have a night out together when they don't have to worry about Aaron? For that, and the result of their ActiWatches, you'll have to wait till later. Still to come on How to Sleep Better, we meet the long-term insomniac coming to terms with 25 years of sleepless nights.
I can't help feeling that somewhere in your mind you have connected the act of sleeping with something very negative.
And we test our volunteers before and after their sleep plans to see if their lives really have improved now that they know how to sleep better. The curse of the modern age is that we have more free time and money than ever before, but our lives are becoming increasingly complicated. Getting our work-life balance right is difficult at the best of times, but daily pressures are having a huge effect on how we sleep.
So what time would you normally go to sleep and wake up on a normal day?
Here we're asking our volunteers to really analyse how they allocate their time.
So how important to you is working? There's a scale between not at all important or extremely important.
Extremely important.
And sleeping, do you see that as a big thing for you?
No, I don't see it. I wish I didn't have to do it, to be honest.
Slide it down, all the way down the bottom there. Yep.
I just want to squeeze every last second out of my waking time, and it's a waste of time sleeping.
The idea of sleeping is kind of boring. It's just nothing. You just go to sleep just to charge your battery, and that's it, you know. So it's a useful function because we all need to do it, but I don't like doing it.
Most people spend about a third of their lives asleep. What's really interesting is that you hardly like to spend any time asleep. If you didn't sleep, if you did live like you'd like to live, you would conk out. And to be able to optimise the actual sleep that you get, the quality of it, you might need to improve your attitude towards it.
So now, for the last part of our interactive test, you can discover how your lifestyle is affecting your sleep patterns. Again, grab a pen and paper, or if you're a digital viewer, grab your remote to find out how your work-life balance could be influencing your sleep. Once again, be as truthful as possible to really get the most out of the test. Here's question 1.
How often do you lie in bed worrying about work or other problems? Jot down A, for every day. B, at least 3 or 4 times a week. C, for once or twice a week. Or D, for very rarely or never. Question 2. How often do you go out drinking? Again, jot down A, for every day. B, at least 3 or 4 times a week. C, once or twice a week. D, very rarely or never. Now question 3. Same answers, but this time, how often do you work or study late into the evening? Is it A, B, C, or D? Mark yourself according to what you actually do, not what you'd like to be doing. Question 4. How often do you stay up late, telling yourself you'll catch up on sleep another day? Again, jot down the answer that best sums you up. And finally, how often do you exercise close to when you go to bed? Note A, B, C, or D if you work out 2 or 3 hours before bedtime.
If you're using a pen and paper, here's how to calculate your score from this section. For every A, score yourself 8 points. For every B, 6 points. 2 for every C, and nothing for a D. Tot up the total, and I'll explain what the scores mean shortly. In the meantime, meet Leanne Kinchin. For her, maintaining a healthy balance between sleep and work is easier said than done, particularly when trying to hold down a job and bring up a family.
The main issue for me is not being able to go to sleep. When I have the opportunity to go to bed, to get a good night's sleep, I cannot switch off. My brain is just completely going wild at night, and I find with the television on or doing a crossword that will hopefully switch it off, but that tends to take about 3 hours to wind down.
And here we are, 3:30 in the morning. I can't get no sleep.
I've had 4 hours sleep in the last 35 hours.
Yeah.
You want them? I think I finally dropped off at 6 o'clock in the morning.
For Leanne, there just aren't enough hours in the day. Like many working couples, she and her husband, Mark, juggle looking after the kids around their jobs.
Don't eat that one. Okay, I'm not looking.
Because they both work for the police force, they can alternate their shifts around the girls, but it's taking its toll on Leanne. Leanne's job answering emergency calls isn't exactly stress-free. And then there's the school run, washing and putting the kids to bed.
Circus we need to think about, perhaps a fashion show we need to think
And
about.
just when you'd think she'd be happy to put her feet up, she's holding a meeting for the local charity she helps to run. Stress is Leanne's middle name. And not surprisingly, it's stopping her sleeping.